of value to contribute and memory. So, perhaps the only message that I have to offer, I'm not saying be brazen, be confident and unapologetic of who you are. People are able to literally justify and get away with murder, literally speaking, citing whatever they believe in. We can't even stand up for our own communities, our own culture. Everything we start with a superstition, hoga, unless proven otherwise. How can you say this? I'm a vegetarian. But I do believe that Bali Pratha is important. Because it's a different kind of worship altogether. You cannot compare that with the Sattvic ways of doing it. Tamasic ways of practice are very different. You tell this to a Hindu, he'll say, "Arey, but to this is animal cruelty." Then don't go to KFC. That you will. Why does your, let's say, your humanitarian compassion so motivate comes to this?
No, but how do you expect us to use these sort of books to shield ourselves? Like you said, don't leave Bengal and stay here to protect the ruins. How do I use this and many other books to save myself from the swords that are coming my way? Like, and not just swords like in literature. I am in a law college in Kolkata. Law college, I feel, are the worst in this regard because of the elitism that's prevalent.
Correct.
And Kolkata, the ideology kicks in. Right. These two factors which are lined up against me, any answer I am about to give in my class, there are eyes that are shooting raised towards me. How do I?
You are in which year? This is 2023?
Yeah.
How do you think the situation was in 2000s? When the BJP was not in power, from 2004 onwards? There was no social media. Facebook came about in 2004. Twitter after that. What do you think people like me would have gone through? We were worse off, brother. Yes. We were worse off. The tika would be wiped off my forehead while walking on the college campus. I'd be called a Brahman dog in the land of Dravidianists.
In the land of?
Dravidianists. Okay. Because Dravidianism sees Brahmins as Aryans. I'd be called it. I've grown up in Hyderabad. Going to Tamil Nadu would mean I go back with the same, let's say, so the Brahmin dialect is different from the non-Brahmin dialect significantly. If you happen to live in Tamil Nadu, you go with the change of the flow of the language. But if you're outside Tamil Nadu, you don't go through that change. So your language retains the dialect better.
Yeah.
So when I did my schooling and then when I go to Tamil Nadu for engineering at the age of 16, my language gives away my jati. And I'm the immediate target across the board. Oh, here comes the Iyer dog, here comes the Brahmin dog. Across the board. The word dog was frequently heard. I could have done two things. Treated this as a means of establishing Brahmin supremacism, or address the root cause. The root cause is the hatred that we have internalized in the Hindu mindset for the role of the Brahmin fully across the board. It is not about protecting a jati, it's not about protecting anybody. It's about protecting a knowledge tradition, period, that's it.
So it normalized with the social boycotting that comes my way?
100%. I don't know if there are people from Jindal Global Law School here. There are J Sai Deepak Sir. There are groups in National Law School Delhi's WhatsApp, let's say, groups, asking for burning groups to be formed on the release of the first book. Typical Nazi mentality.
I'm sure there might be one in my college.
100%.
I won't be surprised.
You're telling me that you're walking into a huge battlefield like this and you expect no retaliation at all?
Also, I have a question regarding, me being a Bengali.
Yes,
Sure.
What do you think was the repercussion when I came out with the CA video? You think I was safe? Or is Anand safe with all the things that he says? You think anybody is giving us Z plus security? I walked in like a normal person here, with no security around me. When I say normal person, I mean a person without security, right? Anybody could have done anything. How do I know one of you is not a jihadi? How do I know?
Especially but even if it fortunately doesn't resort to violence per se, even if it's, let's say, a debate, like I am just like engaging with someone like from the opposite side of the spectrum, even then, let's say the level at which you are at, and like I'm considering knowledge wise, like if someone was to raise 5 points, I'm sure you will raise 25 points in
that is at the age of 38. What was I doing at your age? I was reading. I was preparing. The only thing is I was sure I wanted to do. Not that I want to become a civilizational hero or a martyr. No. But I was very clear that I will not let anybody get off with a stupid argument under any circumstances. That's the one thing I'm entitled to do. That's the one thing I'm capable of doing. See, I can't convince you to stand up. There's a fantastic line in this movie, Chariots of Fire. God cannot put in what man, rather man cannot put in what God has done. I am not here to infuse anything. I am only trying to create a replicable model. I am not being a role model. I am saying I can professionally do well and fight this fight. Why can't you? I don't come from a privileged upper class background. I come from a lower middle class family, non-landed family. All we have been taught is education and Saraswati are your only pillars. That is where we come from. There's nobody who's putting food on the table saying, "Jaake ash kar, do whatever you want. You go and do this fight and I'll make money." I have to do both. If I can, why can't you? The point is not why can't you. The point is why will you? What inspires you and what motivates you? I've 2 weeks ago I was in Guwahati. The situation at Assam is worse. They are waiting to. They're ready to defend. I'm saying this with a lot of love and respect for this state and its people and its culture. I don't believe in the standard Bengali stereotype that is permeated across the world. Don't define yourself by the Bhadralok period of your history. I'm writing against that period in the 3rd book, explaining how it was meant to create genteel stereotypes out of a martial community. To make you soft by telling you, "Tum to savage kyun ho rahe ho? Why are you being barbaric?
Chakshu Lajja.
Drink." Exactly, Chakshu Lajja. That's what Aurobindo said. You drink wine, listen to Shanki, eat Sandesh, enjoy the fine things in life, while we will take over place gradually. Keep sleeping. Don't. You cannot get a better window in history than now. When it is the worst, it is actually the best. Because then all options open. The word which is to be underscored, which is operative, is all options. Next.
So in the land of Shakti Peeths, in the land of Vivekananda and Rishi Aurobindo, do you think this 34 years of misrule that we had will be able to invoke this Indic civilizational renaissance that is going on? Will the Bengalis
My
awaken?
political acumen isn't particularly great because I'm not cut out for it. But my sense is the brilliance of this lady is that she will unite the hard left and the hard right against her. In court, exactly the same thing happens. She will contribute to it. So, why do you think I didn't come for my book signing in 2021 to Kolkata?
I've been waiting for 2 years.
I was also waiting.
There was a hit list, by the way. Yes, because
Yes.
I appeared in the arguments. No. CBI investigation was initiated against this government because of the post-war violence and the massacre. Who do you think was standing by my side while we were arguing? I was doing virtually. It was the left which was arguing alongside me because even their cadre was being killed and butchered. Okay? I specifically told you, come here. It's not safe for you. A lot of people clearly told me, "Sir, it's not safe, don't come." So I said, what example am I setting by telling people keep fighting and I won't come? You can't say that. Already you had ministers here running away with their NSG guards and security. But I had to take that advice into consideration simply because I think there's a distance I have to go. So I believe that with time, the left may become the right and right may become the left. It is a matter of time, it is a matter of political expediency. Because nobody ever imagined that the church would speak in support of Hindus in Kerala. Until they realized that even their girls are being targeted. So जब आँच अपने घर पे आएगी, सभी बात करना शुरू करेंगे, and then they'll realize that the safest way to be outnumbered in a safe fashion is to be surrounded by these people. They'll come to that. I have a question
I
for
want
you.
to continue with, along with his question. It's like,
10 minutes, I take 3 questions.
okay, no, but first is mine. Because I was waiting for quite some time and I wanted to continue along with his question. Like, see, the Bengali diaspora.
Not distracted and finish the signing. Keep
Yes,
talking.
the Bengali diaspora has become very woke, and it's like the British people
I
have.
thought it was always.
No, it is always woke. It has always been woke. But then, slowly we are changing. Of course, the change is happening. But like what he said, what do you think? How will the Indic mentality come into the picture?
So, the curious thing about for the last 5 or 6 years, and I say this based on my interactions with people, is that just as this lady pointed out, across the board, a lot of people have reached out and said the lockdown changed them because that gave them the time window to read and listen to content. नए movies तो नहीं निकल रहे थे. It was either Netflix or YouTube. And fortunately or unfortunately, if you go to YouTube, मेरा काला चेहरा तो कहीं ना कहीं नजर आ जाएगा. Right? So you watch something they've built on and on, and so I've seen hardcore Dravidianists move out. There are 2 things which may have to go simultaneously, or 3 things which may have to go simultaneously. One is political inroads. That's a disruptive intervention. Second is the intellectual intervention, which hopefully people like me will contribute towards.
Don't you think she's diabolical? She's very diabolical.
See, we are afraid of
That's a
legal
lot.
troubles.
Huh?
If we create more books, we can like this. But how to get out of legal troubles if some cases are being heard as
Logical
well?
arguments are simply defied.
Wait, let me just finish.
Your way of-
I'll answer your point also as part of this. I will not run away from the question. Just wait for me to finish the answer. The point is, second is intellectual. But the third, I think, which is the most important thing, maybe it's too politically incorrect to say. There is no hope of fighting any of this without personal practice of the religion. How many tikas do I see here? I can see from that generation. The point is, why aren't we doing this? If you think that this is a battle of ideas, you are wrong. It is a battle of commitment to your faith.
We can't even say Jai Shri Ram.
Correct.
I'm a non-Bengali. I was born and raised here.
Right.
And I've gone through that South Korea. I went to medical college.
Right.
And if we did not come home by 4 o'clock, my direction was just stay where you are.
Right.
Because otherwise you will be mobbed by either the extreme right wing or extreme left wing.
Right.
And the student federation used to threaten us, some of us,
Right.
Bengalis and non-Bengalis who were not with them. And I'm 78 now, and I've lived through this, and I would not dare wear I'm a Jain, I would not dare wear my Jain tika because I live in a very Bengali neighborhood, and they are all Lal Jhanda party. So there's nothing I can do. We have to be very quietly do our thing and do our charity. Jains are the biggest charity givers
Correct. Yeah.
even in Calcutta.
Correct.
Okay? Even though we are called, go back to Gujarat.
Ah.
But the next moment they'll come and say, give us this money.
See, here's the thing. When we were going through a similar phase, Tilak started the public celebration of Shivaji festival and the Ganesh festival in Maharashtra. He understood this beautifully of congregational faith giving strength to the individual. The Durga Puja is now reduced to
Cultural.
and I'm sorry, it has become crass across the board. So, there is no answer to the problem that you face without increasing the religiosity in your personal lives and in your societal lives. That's not going to happen. When temple boards are taken over by Firhad or anybody else, talk about it.
I have a question related to that.
Legal troubles.
Legal trouble, I think it's possible to steer clear of legal trouble when you know how to use the wordplay.
Yes.
Tell me something I have not said without having said it.
Yes, you have a very good.
No, I'm not an exception.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a lawyer, this is not the case. Is Anand a lawyer?
No, he is not.
There are so many non-lawyers talking about this. If Dr. Meenakshi Jain is presenting the same set of facts, is she trained in the law?
No.
They are not.
Yeah.
Two things that you must remember when engaging on social media on these topics. Language is crucial. Tone is crucial. My strength is not my fiery speech. No, it's not. There are only two things. It's conviction with tempered language where there will never be a loss of civility coupled with facts which cannot be rebutted. That's the combination.
Okay. Even in facts that Nupur Sharma case happened, na?
Yes. Yes. Again, pirated. This is sci-fi. Okay, here's the thing that even educated people don't. Let me explain. Flipkart and Amazon are intermediaries. They are not sellers. Which means they only provide a platform. So it's like this. It's the equivalent of a South City mall. He is not going to find out whether the books that are being sold here are legitimate or not. So that is the thing people don't realize. Under the law, they are seen as intermediaries. So they'll never take responsibility for a product liability, by the way. Why? Because they're not selling it. They're only making it available. Your contract is with the ultimate seller. So now we have taken action. Now you won't find a single paperback on Flipkart or Amazon. Yeah. I said that.
Sir, one question continuing with this personal practice of religion. So my question is that nowadays a lot of people feel that it is not important to go to temples or any other religious places. I have heard
They're all
people say
spiritual but not religious.
they have just told me on my face that I would rather do anything than go to a temple. I would study, I would sleep, I would eat anything. But my question is that I think it also comes from family. If there is no culture, if your family also does not propagate you towards your religion, I think you will not get. So how does we convince the new youth as well as the families that they, when they are trying to raise their voice,
See, unfortunately,
religious,
social media
how
is
to
trying
get a
to.
support like that from family?
Yeah, the family
Especially
thing has
family
been a
and
problem
friends.
with the Bengalis, especially.
A part of the youth doesn't even believe
Because
in
I
a family
have seen-
institution.
Exactly.
It's not a
this for
problem,
long
which is
time.
exclusive to Bengal. Don't be so self-deprecating. Thing is, I was in Karnataka, I think during the first book tour, I think I gave this example. Two boys came and they said they were crying, literally crying, saying that our parents are preventing us from going back to Dharma. Okay? And they were basically saying, what do we do? Apparently we are being told you're a superstition, all that. These are communist parents or I don't know what. Or maybe rationalist parents. So I didn't honestly have an answer. I had no answer to this except for saying that this is perhaps one of those civilizations where Kartikeya has taught Shiva himself and Prahalada has taught his Asuric parents Hiranyakashipu. Maybe what the previous generation couldn't infuse or imbibe, this generation will have to do it in the reverse fashion and also pass it on further. Some of the problems that we face are peculiarly complex, and I'll tell you why. You have killed the temple institution, you have killed the family support system, and the children are suddenly wondering, we are at a crossroads with so many ideas coming our way. Parents have no answers, schools obviously don't have answers or won't give those answers, and you're perhaps going to the most fickle forum possible, which is social media, where you'll be bombarded with opinions from both sides, and you don't know which is garbage and which is gold. It's a thankless position to be in. The only answer perhaps I can offer with a lot of humility is, perhaps which is why my engagement is more with this demographic. I try and avoid going to book fests or lit fest as much as possible, because there it becomes more about celebrating our works as opposed to engaging with people. So these engagements give me an opportunity to answer these questions, hoping that it will create a multiplier effect. The good news that I have is each of these engagements has translated to people realizing that they have a duty not just to change themselves, but at least two people around them. I'm making missionaries out of the audience. And I'm clearly telling them, we have no other option but to do this, because thanks to the mistakes and the actions of omission and commission of the previous generations, we have landed in a particularly problematic situation where you have no support system. So the idea is to create that support system, and maybe once you start going back to the temple, I can say this from personal experience, the problems may not become easy. Your ability to handle the problems becomes better, which is you're not daunted by the magnitude of the problem anymore. when you go to Ma Kamakhya or when you go to any Shakti Peeth or any other temple for that matter, the one thing that you certainly realize is इतना होने के बावजूद भी लोग यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं. इस एक क्षेत्र अभी तक बचा हुआ है. The pandas are still there. Everybody is there. You keep abusing them as corrupt and all of that, but उनको पैसा भी वहीं से मिलता है ना. What will those poor people do? It's not as if Hindus are giving them money all the time, right? So you still have these people left. I can't think of any Abrahamic civilization that has survived this much. I haven't seen that at all.
I was in February and there was a greater crowd at 1st January. He put it, I think, that way also accept. I have a question regarding swing temples.
Have I signed this? Is this done? I think I can. You can check it out.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
What other books can we read in support of your argument?
The authors who I have cited in the introduction to the first book are my inspiration.
The first book.
India, that is Bharat, the blue one. So read that. And two, please certainly read those voices